Alright guys, welcome aboard. We're going to be doing a little bit of a different flight here, something outside of my usual southwestern US flights. I thought I'd do some fun flying here, and we're going to be going from Dubai over to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And I've got ortho 4XP photorealistic scenery pretty much through the entire route that we're going to be taking. We're basically just going to hug the coastline and head inland into Saudi Arabia and see what we see. The scenery there looks pretty interesting, a little bit different than maybe what we're used to. It should be fun. So let's go ahead and jump in the plane here and get going. As you can see, coming over Dubai. And the reason I'm doing this flight is actually I'm a sort of a race fan. I like auto racing, and one of the series that I follow is Formula E, which is open wheel race series that races all electric cars, and they race in some weird spots, or not weird, but unique spots, let's say, throughout the season. And the season just started, which is a little bit different than all the other racing series. They just had the first race in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and so I thought I'd use their sort of calendar to go fly some new and different places. They've got like Mexico City and Marrakesh, Morocco, you know, all sorts of cool places that we can maybe jump into X-plane and take a look at the photo reel throughout those areas. So here in Dubai, it's just a generic scenery. I do not have anything special other than photo reel. And over at Riyadh, it's pretty plain Jane. Like, don't expect anything in Saudi Arabia at the airport. I couldn't get the sort of freeware one working correctly, but I wanted to do the flight just to look at the scenery on the way there anyway. So let's jump in the plane here. We've got our 737-200 from FlyJSim. We'll get her fired up, get on our way, and take a look at the interesting scenery we've got here. Let's go ahead and set flaps 5 for departure. We'll go ahead and get our GPU fired up. And let's take a look at our fuel settings here. So where am I here? There we go. 10,000 pounds. I'm going to add just a little bit. What the heck? More than enough for the flight. It's a little bit of a longer flight, maybe about an hour and 20 minutes in the air. So the stream might be just a little bit longer than the usual hour, 15 hour, 20 minute ones that I do. All right, we'll set that as our fuel, and we'll leave everything else as default here. And let's go ahead and get ourselves configured here. Get our battery power on. Emergency exit lighting enabled. Not sure what the heck that was. That was odd. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. Okay, anyway, ground power is on. Go ahead and go over to ground power over here. This has been something left over from my last flight. Let's go ahead and get our APU fired up here. We'll get some lights on to start out. Get our nav lights on and get our APU fired up. All right, needles going up. That looks good. Let's go down the list here and see what else we got to set. Get the galley making us some coffee. Turn my lights up here a little bit. Let's come over here and get our window heat on, although I'm guessing the temperature out here is not too bad. At least down on the ground. Hydraulics on. Let's go ahead and get some APU bleed on. We'll get the left pack on here because I'm guessing it's a little warm. Altitude wise, what are we going up to here? Not too high. Let's just go up to 24,000. Arrival, I think, is 2,050 some odd feet. So we'll set that for the landing altitude over in Riyadh. Let's go ahead and get pushed back here. Actually, you know what? I gotta check the winds. Let's see what we got here. Okay, winds are 170 at 4, and I'm pulling this off a real world, the FS Global Real Weather plugin or plug utility that I'm using. So winds are out of the south at 4. We can pretty much take whatever runway we want. I'm going to want to take the runway so we get a good view. So we're going to head down to the east side of the runway. We'll see. Anyway, altimeter 3006. So let's get that plugged in over here. 1, 2, and 3. All right, all of those are set. Let's get our pushback set up here. And I am flying. If you didn't notice, the DHL livery. Not sure who made it. Got it from the forum someplace. All right, we'll push back right to there because we're going to go to the right.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Alright, look at that. We got Mr. John Fly here. Came out to help us push back. Alright, let's tell him we're ready.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
There he is. Alright, no gate or anything like that because, like I said, we are in our DHL livery here, and I picked that since I'm sort of following the schedule of the Formula E racing series, and DHL is the official transport sponsor of the series. Alright, looks like he's going to be connecting us up here. Let's see what else we can set up here. It's pretty straightforward. I love flying the old 200 here. Get ready for start.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Yep, APU is on, so let's go APU power. Switch over to that. Let's go ahead and get our ground power disconnected.
Windshield strap and adapter in position. Release parking brake when ready to start pushback.
Let's go watch him do this outside. Parking brake off.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Alrighty, let's get fired up over here. Alright, we'll go packs off. Let's start up number 2. While we're down here, we'll set the trim for takeoff. Get our weather radar range set. Taking a look over here for N2 to come up to about 20. Alright, number 1, or correction, number 2 is firing up. Let's go listen to that outside. It may be a little loud. Sorry about that. That might have been loud out there, but I just love listening to those engines start up. Alright, let's throw number 1 over to ground. Again, waiting for N2 here to come up. You know, you can't see my mouse. I forgot about that. Sorry, but looking for N2 right there. And it's at 20 right there. You can see it rising. Introduce fuel. take a quick look over here at my sound settings. Make sure I'm turned up. Yeah, let's put that all the way up.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Got the parking brake kind of on. I use my key. If I use my key, it sort of brings it up halfway, which is good enough for Mr. John Fly there to disconnect us. Alright, let's get up here. Tell him to disconnect. Engines are on. Let's go over to engine power. We'll go to Gen 2 this time around. We'll go to pitot heat on. Let's get our packs left and right on. APU bleed off and APU off. Switch this one
Tow
over.
is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
Alright, super. Thank you. We're going to jump out really quick just to take a look at our taxi. Pretty much we're going to taxi all the way down here and then take the runway, which is off to our right-hand side. Yep, that looks good. Alright. Let's go ahead and set flaps 5 for takeoff. Parking brake off. Spool up those engines and get on our way. Over here and get our transponder on TARA. We'll go ahead and maybe set a few VORs along the way here, but pretty much going to be flying visual. And while we're taxiing over here, maybe I can show you the general route of flight here. Hopefully you can see that. Yep, there we go. Okay, so up here at the top, that's Dubai. We're going to follow that along the coastline, basically, then go inbound and then out over to Riyadh, over at the end there. Like I said, photo reel all throughout. The airport, unfortunately, I couldn't get working at Riyadh, so it's basically just some runways in the desert kind of thing. But like I said, it's all the scenery in between that is going to be interesting for us to take a look at here. Alright, let's get a taxi light on here while we're taxiing. We'll get engines over to low ignition. Sure, we'll put the logo light on, why not? Alright, and 24,000, just double checking our altitude there. We'll go ahead and set that down here. Keep an eye out on where we're taxiing here. Alright, almost to the end here, it looks like. I might have to cut across a little bit. Oh, a little bit farther to go. And hopefully I'm not missing anybody in chat there. I've got that on my other screen. How do you get the flight stuff on your stream? Oh, you mean like the stuff up at the top? That is a utility called, bring that up, Bene Overlay. B-E-N-E Overlay, one word. If you just Google that, you'll get it. It's a download. I think it works easier than some of the other ones I've seen, where you've got to have some third-party add-ons and stuff like that, and it's just, I don't know. This one just looks cleaner. Let's do our final flight check here before we depart. Let's see, lights, camera, action, double check that, flaps, yep, we're good. Alright, we're good for immediate departure. Let's get on out of here. Take a look at some of the scenery. I have been playing around with the, yeah, no problem there on the overlay. Check that out. It's pretty nice. Yeah, you do have to make an entry. It has instructions when you download it. There's some instructions on there on how to get the different values into X-Plane. It's pretty straightforward though. You just follow the instructions on there. All right, I think my runway is over here. Let's take a look. Fast taxiing over here. Close enough. I think we're at the end over here.
Approaching 30 right.
Alright, 30 right. That will take us right out over the coast, and we'll take a left turn after departure. And like I said,
30
this is the generic
right.
scenery, so don't expect to see like you know, downtown Dubai with you know, with all the buildings and the tower and everything. Just a generic one. I'm looking to see if I can't pick up the payware version of it. We'll see how much flying I do here. Alright, everything's set. Let's spool up those engines and get out of here. Said, unfortunately, generic scenery over there for downtown. The airport actually is not too bad here. I don't have any airplanes set up, any traffic set up. Alright, let's go ahead and get flaps to 2. And we'll go ahead and hit the elevator autopilot here. Turn down the volume just a little bit there, so I'm not yelling. Alright, flaps to 1. And flaps up. Alright, let's go ahead and go to indicated airspeed here for 250 climb. Get our taxi lights off, get our outboard landing lights off, go over to off on the igniters. Alright, let's see what we're going to do here. So we're going to take a left turn out of here, scoot down along the coastline. Let's take a look outside first. A little hazy over here, but there'll be plenty of stuff for us to see. Promise. This is all ortho, photorealistic, and I did kind of touch up some of the masks on them. And the masks are where the water kind of comes off of the land. So there's a little bit more photoreal stuff in some of these areas like this. And you can see all the shipping here and everything, all these little details that come out. Alright, I think we've turned enough here. I'm just hand flying it. Just want to come down here along the coastline. So there is downtown Dubai. Unfortunately, you only get a few buildings here. Not quite as impressive as the real thing. And a lot of desert. There's some interesting coastline we're going to see as we fly along here, and some interesting desert that we're going to see. Like Tatooine Desert. Let's take a little turn here off to the side so we get a good view of like the what is it called, Palm de Berge or something, or excuse my mispronunciation here.
Go ahead and level off, or level our wings here. Let's go to 2992. 2992. 2992. Alright, we'll start increasing our speed over here. Let's go up to about, I don't know, 270 or so here. And interesting scenery here, kind of fun. Let's see what we see here. Take a look around. I forgot exactly what that's called, Palm something. It's the first one that they built. You know, it's got resorts, shopping, homes all throughout the Palms here, actually. Looking real nice, even just on the ortho photo reel. And then coming up, we've got the second one, and at least at the time of this ortho satellite pass, it was just pretty blank, still under construction. I'm not sure if in real life it's already completed or not. It's quite bigger than this one, even though they kind of look the same. This one's a little bit bigger. Which view we're looking at. Let's take a look this way. Yeah, here we go. See, some of it's still under construction here. The rest of it's just got sand, pretty much. And it's interesting, the actual ortho tiles. The ortho tile, there's 3 of them that meet right on the center of this thing. So basically, you can actually see a line right there. Kind of goes like that, and then across here someplace is one tile. So I had to do one entire tile just for this little top section of this thing, and all it is sand. Kind of got disappointed there. All right, let's pop in the plane. Let's make sure we're settled down over here. Going up to 24,000 feet. We'll increase our speed here a little bit. And get the rest of our lights off. Strobes can stay on for right now. Logo can come off. And actually we do have a little bit of that center fuel tank fuel that I put in there. Or do we? Nothing. We ain't got anything. Alright, no pumps off. I thought we put some in the center fuel tank. I'm showing nothing. Yep, X camera, Scott. Got a bunch of views set up. As a matter of fact, I gotta set one more up. So yeah, I got all sorts of views. I got like the cockpit view here over the shoulder. Got the sort of sitting in the jump seat, maybe in between the 2 seats. That one I don't have. I gotta set up one more nose view here, and then all the other views outside. Real nice, interesting coastline to explore here, even if you're just flying like a GA airplane here. And like I said, we're just kind of eyeballing this. I know the general route here. Follow the coast until you get to the end, and then into the desert you go. All right, coming up to 24,000 feet.
hazy out there today. Let's see if I can't clean some of that haze up, unfortunately. I got it. Let's see if that's better. Oh, wait, that's worse. Yeah, let's turn that off. Let's go back to 0. And it's the only complaint I have about, well, it's like I got a few complaints, but Ultra Weather XP, real nice. Don't like the haze. That's the lowest you can kind of go down to. Unless it's really, really clear and the observations are very clear. I kind of wish I could turn that down a little bit, sort of overwrite it. Yeah, Scott. So X camera, yeah, I use my keyboard for all of the different views. I've got a little quirky mapping, but yeah. So I actually have a full-size keyboard, and I use my number pads. You can use whatever you want. You can assign the keys to anything, but I use my my number pad section generally, you know, in a way that makes sense, you know. So at the very top is my nose view. Right underneath that, like the 8 key is my pilot view. To the left, number 7 is my you know, side view here. If I go over to the right, number 9 is to the right, and so forth, kind of all the way around. You know, panel views, up and down. Alright, and I also forgot to get some tunes going here. Let's see what we got. And I'm going to turn some of that volume down. And we'll see if I can't turn my music up. I think I gotta adjust my volume here. I don't like that anyway. That's pretty loud in the sim. I think that's why I had it down low. There we go. So let me jump out here and take a look at this. Now you can see some of the masking that I did. So when you do Ortho 4XP, it literally follows the coastline. It'll mask off everything in the water beyond, like, literally just past the coastline here as the clouds come over. So what I had to do is I go into the mask files. Like, all of this was all missing. This was all just plain water with all of these little sand islands, whatever you want to call them. But there was all this cool stuff happening here on the satellite, so I went in there and I cleared that stuff off of the mask. I basically unmasked it so that we can get a better view of what it actually looks like. All right, I think I gotta slow down my my speed here. I think I'm overspeeding. Yep. Babylon going on and on about the scenery here. All right, there we go. Get our power set here. Hopefully we can stay on our altitude. This thing wants to speed up. Alright, you know what? I'm just going to go off of that. Let's just hand fly it here for a minute, let it settle down. Keep retrimming. There we go. Wing view doesn't do us justice here. Look at all this cool stuff to look at. I'm not sure if I got all of the overlays working. There's another airport we can check out at some point. Yeah, I'm not sure if I got all of the overlays on all of the tiles working. I haven't tried it yet. Alright, here we go. Let's put this back on. Let's go to get a little bit of a climb here. Get back up to 24,000 feet. Let's see if we can look back at some of this stuff. Wow, something's catching up there. Oh, I know it. What is right here? There's something right here. Oh, there it is. See that little red spot right there? This is where the Formula 1 race takes place, and that's Ferrari World. If we were right over, you can see there's a little Ferrari emblem right on there. But yeah, Formula 1 races right around through that part. It looks like, I'm not sure if that's overlay or if that's just, it looks like it. Let's zoom into it. Yeah, alright, cool. So the overlays are working, at least putting some generic buildings up over here. I'll have to check out the airport over there just under the wing sometime. And to be honest, this is the first time I'm actually looking at this since I did the masking, so if something looks hokey, I'll point it out here, but generally came out pretty good. All this nice blue water. Alright, let's see if we're at our altitude. Nope, we're actually descending. Airspeed too low now. Alright, I gotta pay attention to actually flying this thing for a few minutes here so I don't screw up. Alright, waiting for the altitude to flip right over here to altitude hold. Our flight director on, what the heck? Alright, there we go. You can see that dial has just flipped over to altitude hold, so hopefully we hold our altitude. Let me go ahead and speed us up here. I think we're actually pretty damn slow. Bring that power up. Sorry. That's what you get when you're sightseeing here. Probably gonna end up overspeeding again. Yeah, like I said, I haven't checked this scenery out since I just unmasked a lot of this stuff, so I'm gonna take a look at it to see if there's anything I need to correct. Alright, getting our airspeed back up. I think what I'm going to do here is just go to altitude, or heading hold also. Just put that on, let's see, for heading. Spin this sucker around. Alright, there we go. Let's go over to heading hold. Hopefully that'll help us not screw something up. Well, there we go. Alright, want to get our airspeed up to about 0.723 or something like that. And we'll actually descend if these clouds don't get out of our way, because I want to see stuff. And you can see some of the lines right here. That's different tiles and you know, different stuff that's happening in the satellite. Unfortunately, the clouds are in my way. But you can go in there and remask that and kind of adjust it here as we go. You know, it looks like these clouds are only right over here. We should be flying on the other side. I mean, more inland. I might just get rid of the... You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to get rid of the weather. I want to see the scenery here. That's the whole point of this thing. So I'm going to stop my weather injector, and then we'll just set some cirrus so that we get a nice view out the window here. Alright, injector has been stopped. Let's go back up here. Let's throw in some cirrus. I'll do that and that. Hit apply. We might get a little bump in the airspeed here or something. Ah, there we go. That's better. Now we can see. Look at that. Yeah, there's some of those lines I was talking about that you can go in here and kind of fuzz it up. It's kind of like that's from the satellite. That's what the satellite looked like. And maybe this is two different tiles, it looks like, and maybe I need to kind of unmask some of the darker stuff here because there's stuff in there that can get seen. I'm not sure what the heck these things are, these lines. That's actually just the way it is. Kind of weird, but interesting. Let's double check our airspeed here. Oh yeah, that brought us way up. We're going to start porpoising here again. Hey, at least we can see stuff. Alright, we'll let this thing settle down here a little bit. Retrim it for 24,000 feet. Alright, let that airspeed get down. We're up at 0.78 Mach right now. Alright, there's 24,000. Let's try to level off right around there. And put that back on heading hold. And let's see if we can get ourselves situated. We're going to turn a little bit more and follow the coastline here. Let's go heading hold. Okay, airspeed's coming back down to a reasonable amount. Let's take a look out the front window here. Got some nice islands and all sorts of weird stuff going off the coast here. Why did this person put their shade down? That drives me bananas. I wish on this airplane that you could disable the shades. Let's see if we can get settled down here, get on our course. It looks like we're good. Mach 0.71 and slowing up, so let's go ahead and bring a little bit of power in here, see if we can't just hold 0.71. Somewhere around 170 on the PR. This should stabilize us here. And I'm just changing my heading right here. So we're kind of eyeballing it here. Let's see what we see. Let's take a couple of degrees to the right here. I'm going to go right down the coastline. Just off of it, actually. So let me actually do it a couple of degrees here. 285. We're gonna jump outside here for a nice view, so it may get a little loud here for a second. Did not. Super. Zoom on out of here. Do a little 360 of the plane here. See the horizon there. Not bad. Yep, I remember unmasking this. Oop, missed a little spot right there. And so it is ortho, pretty much off, if you all the way out to the horizon here. I actually did the ortho kind of runs just south, or just past where we're looking, and then there's another set of tiles. And what I did was, since I knew I was going to be flying along the coastline is all at zoom level 16. And then everything back off in the distance just to make it blend in, is zoom level 14. But still looks pretty good. I mean, it's just plain desert, right? That looks nice. Zoom in here a little bit. Let me jump inside here, take a look at our speed, make sure we're not going to go start porpoising again. Alright, I think we're good. Yep, 170-ish. Should hold our airspeed. Let's pop back, let's do a flyby. Alright, cool. Looks like we don't want to go off into the ocean here. As a matter of fact, let's pull up. Oh, perfect. I already had it up. Didn't even know. Let's see where we're at. There we are. So we're basically going to follow the coastline here, and then see this straight line freeway? That goes all the way to Riyadh, which is right there. Oops, sorry, zoomed in on it. Zoom back out. So that's Riyadh. We're going to follow this this freeway. So I got to turn left a little bit here. I kind of wanted to get off of the coastline so we get a good view of it out the window here. Yeah, that unmasking makes it look so much nicer. You get that the coloring underneath it. And the desert color, once we start going inland, it's pretty interesting going into Saudi Arabia. Let me tell you, if any place ever looked like Tatooine, it's we're gonna go. That's where we're going. We're going to Tatooine. Alright, let's take a course of about 275. Airspeed looks good. That goofy looking island right in the middle. I wonder how many of these are actually man-made. I mean, highly modified, obviously, but you know, like the palms there are all completely man-made. That's what I wanted to look at. Let's take a look at our map here. We can make a little bit of a turn here. Where are we going? Let's go 226 something. Right over this little island here. Even a little more. Otherwise we'll be off the coastline here. We're gonna keep turning until we're heading in the right direction. We want to be right along the coastline here, going in. I know that. As a matter of fact, let's see what I'm gonna do. Look at my other screen. Look at. I know there's a VOR right at the end that we can tune in. Batha VOR 113.4. Let me see if we even got that on here. Probably already. Yeah, 113.4. So let's switch over to that. Let's see, we're 63 miles out. Let's go ahead and center that. So that's directly to it, which is good. That's fine. We'll go just south of it.
hold on this heading right here. Oh, what I wanted, that one. Alright, I'll zoom out over here. I'm going to take a quick break to get a bottle of water. I'll let you watch the scenery go by here. Turn that down a little bit. Let's see, exterior. There we go. Let's do a view like that. There we go. Alright guys, I will be right back. Enjoy the view over here. Be back right in a minute. Hopefully the plane doesn't go berserk on us. Guys, I'm back. Let's see how we're doing over here. Alright, looking good. 36 miles out from that VOR. That VOR is pretty much dead ahead someplace out here. We can't get right on it here. Oh, wrong way. Actually, it's a little bit off to the right. I'm telling you, the scenery is going to get a little bit funky coming into Saudi Arabia here. Meaning quite interesting. And we may actually get a view. You might be able to see where my tiles end, my ortho tiles end. I did one strip because basically, well, you can see this freeway, okay? So basically, I did right along this freeway, all the way over to Riyadh, just one square. So you can, we're going to try to fly right down the center of it, and but you can kind of see off in the distance. You can see where the actual tiles on either side end. And that's where I'm going to probably put So 14 level. I think I mapped that. Let me see, is that? Take a look out here. I think I did some of that there. Yeah, we gotta turn. We gotta turn to the right anyway over here. Pick up that freeway, which I think should be right underneath us. Yep, we're coming up to it. It's that freeway we see right there. I say freeway, but it's a road. A road through the desert here. We're just going to follow that all the way into Riyadh. And the desert definitely gets interesting here once we get a little bit past the coastline. And airspeed looks good. I guess we could turn off some other stuff. What do we got here? Strobes can come off. Close our compass there. We're Mark 1 eyeballing it here. Let's take a look at some of the scenery here. Looking neat. Look at that. What are these lines over here? I guess that's, well, roads or something. Interesting coloring here. The ortho that I used was USA 2. So if you go into Ortho 4XP and you can pick the different, you know, Bing is BI, which is the primary one that I use in the States. I did that one over here, but it was really cruddy looking. There was a lot of cloud cover in some of it, and the coloring was really patchy. There were all sorts of weird patches. Just within the actual tiles. This looks much better. Missed a tile right there, that little spot. See, so you actually come in, find the tile that has this little tiny round piece of water and unmask it. As you can see, that's sort of the default masking, is just that little bit on the you know, the south side here of our picture. Everything else I unmasked, so I got to go back and fix all these little things. And I when I did this, I did it really quick. I wasn't really paying attention. I just kind of opened up all the tiles in the in my paint program and just started unmasking the coastlines generally, looking at the actual ortho to see if there was anything on the image to unmask, you know, like you know, these little islands here. We got a little bit of cloud cover here on the ortho with shadow, although from altitude it don't look too bad. Much better on the USA 2 image set than excuse me, than the Bing one. Look at these colors that come in through the desert now. Obviously, I know this is a satellite shot, but you know, so there's a little bit of anomaly going on. But for the most part, I think that's about what it looks like. If you look at Google Maps and start looking out here, you get all these wild red and sort of grayish, bluish, greenish tinged sand. And I haven't flown, like I said, low enough to see if I got any decent sort of mesh terrain data. You know, like these little outcrops should be, you know, they look like they're a little bit higher. Like there's a little ridge line over here or something, right? Is that a ridge? Or no, just whatever, some kind of deposits.
welcome to Tatooine here. Still following our freeway right here. That's our airspeed. I want to make sure we don't start doing anything weird again. Wrong one. There we go. Yes, I remember unmasking this, and there was one little weird spot right here, which is right in the center of this sort of delta, or whatever you want to call it. So I actually didn't unmask it, so I got to go in here and kind of clean up some of the sharp lines again. And if you look off in the distance, there you can see the line, where everything beyond that line is the default non-ortho. So that's why I'm going to try to stay kind of inside of this, this little patch here. Crazy looking desert. And we get to a part coming up here where it's all like red dunes. Real interesting. And then there's actually some spots where you can see some, I'm guessing they're oil wells, oil rigs or whatever, oil pumps. I mean, it is Saudi Arabia, you know. So we'll take a close look at those once we come up to them, start spotting them. Hey Sean, yeah, you got to learn how to use the ortho. Yeah, yeah, pre-made stuff is good for, like, you know, when they include it with like an airport that you buy or you know, download or something like that. Ortho 4XP is a little quirky. There's a couple of good videos out on YouTube. You know, if you just Google Ortho 4XP, there's one guy. He's got a British accent. I'm sure he's in England someplace, and he's real concise on how to actually, you know, use Ortho 4XP in a simple manner. Because if you look at Ortho 4XP, there's, you know, there's all sorts of settings in there and everything else, but you really don't have to screw around with a lot of it. You just have to know where to put the tiles, you know, once you actually download them. And, you know, there's only like a dozen steps that you actually have to do to get the tiles, you know, downloaded and processed and everything else, and then know where to put them within, you know, the custom scenery and stuff like that. A little bit of editing of the scenery ini file that you have in your installation, but nothing out of it. You know, you just open it in Notepad and make sure things are in the correct order. But if you're looking to get as realistic a experience, definitely worth it, and it's free. But I guess just like anything that's free, it's you got to do a little bit of like work to get it working correctly. Not really working correctly, but you know, there's a little bit of a learning curve to it, but not by much, and the results are real nice, as you can see. Look at this, man, Tatooine or what? I guess one day I would love to just drive down this highway here through the desert. See what's on the other side here. Yep, just getting past our coastline there. Which is a little bit of a, I don't know what you call it, water peninsula or something there. Not bad for zoom level 16, especially at altitude. Looks pretty good. getting into the desert here. You could very easily get lost out here. Just keep that freeway right there, highway, whatever you want to call it, the road off our side here. And the coloring here is going to start changing on us. It's actually going to start going a little bit more red, we'll see. Yeah, exactly, Sean. Yeah, just Google Ortho4XP explained by British guy. Here, I'm actually gonna look it up. Let's see. I will look it up because his videos are really good. He's got one that's really concise. So I'm on my other screen. I'm actually gonna find the video for you. And I'll post it in chat. Let's see. No, it's not Luna. A lot of people posting new stuff on Ortho4XP, so yeah, let's see. Nope, it's not him. Not that guy. I'll find it. I know where this video is. It's someplace. Oop, here it is. No, that's mine. I'm looking through the list of videos on YouTube for Ortho4XP, and I actually saw my own video on there where I kind of went over how to unmask around the waterways and stuff like that. And let me see here. Someplace in here is the video that I want to show you, or give you. Now, of course, I can't find the video, but there's a whole bunch of other ones out there. Alright, I'm not sure if this is the actual one that I'm thinking of, but this looks like it. So if you take a look at this guy's video, this looks like it's the proper video to follow. Alright, look at this desert. Oh my. You can see our line off the wing there. That's where my ortho ends. A lot of sand out here, that's for sure. Alright, so I'm actually going to take a look at my other screen, and I'm going to take a look. There's a VOR over here in Riyadh that I'm going to tune in, 113.3. I think I already have that from my test, so I'm just going to go and switch over to it. Let's see if we're picking it up. Yep, 126 miles out, and pretty much right on it. Yeah, Q8 pilot's got a lot of stuff too. I'm not sure if he was the one that I was referencing, but you know, any of those guys that have done a good video on ortho will help you out. I mean, I was going to do a video myself on ortho, but there's so many of them out there that it's like, you know, just another duplicate of what they've already put out. Interesting stuff over here in the middle of the desert. They are growing something. And the terrain is going to change up ahead over here. Well, we already went through the dunes there, but it does start getting a little bit redder here for some reason. Here's a couple of those, what I believe to be pumping stations for oil. You're gonna start looking around, you'll start seeing them everywhere throughout the area. There's a bunch out there. Take a look out the other side here, because I know I flew over a patch when I was first just kind of testing out this flight and checking my, you know, trying to get Riyadh actually airport installed. I did a quick flight just to see what the terrain looked like here. Here's a bunch of them coming up, all these little spots out here. I think there was one that I saw where you can actually see the shadow of the pump. But all these little clearings here are all kind of interconnected. At first I was like, what is that? Scud missile sites or something? I don't know. But no, they're actually, I'm pretty sure they're oil wells, oil pumping going on over here. $130 miles to go. Here's that red stuff coming up. The desert start turning a little bit more red. You can see my tile kind of ends right there. Let's take a look at our map here. It's centered up here. Yep, we gotta turn a little bit farther to the left here. Alright, I'm going to take one more quick break here with 129 miles out, and let's do an outside view. And we don't want to see clouds, we want to see desert here. Clear. There we go. Let's see what we're looking at. Alright, I will leave you with this view here just for a few more minutes, and then we'll jump back in and start our descent into Riyadh. There's two airports. There's the main one, and then there's another one to the, I guess, west. We'll see which one we go into. Like I said, I couldn't get the scenery working, so it's just there's nothing to see there. It's just a couple runways in the desert and a bunch of taxiways that don't make any sense, sitting on top of ortho scenery. But there's another airport. Well, maybe we'll just take that one. We'll see. Be right back. Alright guys, back in the cockpit here. Tell me that don't look like Tatooine. Alright, we got, here's that red sand I was talking about. A little bit of cloud cover right there in the center. Got picked up on the ortho. How far out are we? 99 miles out of the VOR, which is literally like right next to the airport. So let's go ahead and plan our descent here over the desert. Let's actually go get this thing tuned in for the VOR, and I think final approach course to the runway, at least at Riyadh, is 328. I've already got that set. Let's go set our altitude down to 5,000 feet. That'll put us about 3,000 feet AGL. We'll go off of altitude hold. go ahead and bring our power back and start a shallow descent. Yeah, this is an interesting spot. I saw this last time I was doing my test flight here. I guess something was burning out here when the satellite went over. Let's see if we can get a better shot of it. There we go. So something was burning over here, right? So I'm guessing that's kind of up in the sky, really. It's not down low like it is here. And there's the actual shadow from it. I think I see Luke Skywalker's ranch. Or Uncle Owen's and Aunt Beru's homestead someplace down here. You get a good view of what it looks like without the ortho here, or kind of a halfway decent view here. There's the ortho line. Alright, I'm guessing Riyadh is coming up someplace in the horizon right there. You can see some of this interesting coloring they've got in the desert here. Screw up my keys here. Yes, that's supposed to go that way. Put it out there. Look at that. Trippy looking. See if I see anything interesting to focus in on here. That's like, what is that? What is all this red stuff? I mean, I'm guessing some of it may be just coloring from, you know, the satellite pass, but if I look on Google Maps, you do get all this weird coloring in the desert out here. Let's see where we're at. 71 miles out. So we're on this side. More of that runoff here, I guess. Look at that, somebody lives there. or what is that? What is that little black speck right there? It looks like a freaking, what is it, in Star Wars? It's like the Bantha. It's got a Tusken Raider on a Bantha over here. Yeah, exactly. It does look like Rivers of Tang. Getting out of, well, not out of the desert, but into some more civilization. There's a little bit of that cloud cover I was telling you I couldn't couldn't find, well, this is the best that I got. BI was a bit worse with the cloud cover on the ortho. That's about the worst spot, I think, out of all the tiles I got. Though again, from altitude it don't look too bad. 60 miles. Let's take a look at the map here. Let's see where we're at. We can zoom in. Alright, so there is Riyadh. The airport is just off to the north end here. Let me try to zoom in, see if it comes in on this map. You don't see it. It was on the north side here someplace. Probably this gray patch here. But I saw another airport just to the, well, to the west. So maybe we'll take that one. I don't know. How are we doing on our descent? Alright, coming up to 11,000 feet here. Get our strobes on. You know, still 50 miles out. I think I'm going to hold at 10,000 feet. Bring the power up again. Started our descent a little early there, maybe. Like I said, field elevation in Riyadh right around 2,000 feet. I don't want to go too low here. We should start seeing a little bit more civilization here. Let's see if I have that one looking that way. Checking my views again. There's a nice little ridge line here of some sort. Again, I'm not sure if it's flat. I don't know if I got any kind of mesh that's working out here. I think starting to see Riyadh come into view. Just off in the distance there. There's a few buildings I think I see in the haze or something. Try to keep our speed up a little bit here. Scott, the pop-up map, which pop-up map am I using? Does it have airport overlays? So I'm using AviTab. If you look up AviTab, you can download it from the forums, the Explain forums. And I can show you here. Let's see, so here's AviTab. It basically just has toggle the tablet here. So you can actually use it while you're flying in any airplane, which is nice. It's got a bunch of features, including you can go over here, you get GeoTIFF images, and you can download sectional charts and things like that. You know, obviously I don't have sectional charts for the Middle East here. but I do have them from the southwest where I normally fly. So here's, I just pulled up the LA chart. So here's the LA sectional, LA, San Diego, all that stuff, and it does have the plane. So if you click on the little arrow up here in the upper right, it will recenter me to exactly where I am. So it will show you, it's a moving map. It will show your aircraft on it. And you can download any one of these. There's instructions in AviTab when you download it on where to get. It actually has links to go out to like the FAA sites and download the actual correct charts. So yeah, it is pretty useful, and also conveniently gives you your FPS up here in the corner. It's sort of snapshot in time, I think. No, there it is. It's changing a little bit. And if you don't want to download them, you can just go with the default open topo map. And for instance, that's what we're using here. And if you zoom in, it kind of gives you, this sort of view. It's a street map, really, is what it is. And you zoom out far enough, it actually gives you a little bit more topo sort of look here. Alright, 29 miles out. Let's go ahead and check our course here. I think we're a little bit south. Yeah, see, so there we go. We should actually just turn 328 right now. We'll head right for the airport. So I'm going to go go off a heading hold here. Let's go 328 on heading. That should bring us right to the airport, right on the approach. So that's Riyadh right in front of us here, or at least the south side of it. The airport's just off to the north side here. And again, we're kind of just eyeballing this. Alright, let's get our inboard landing lights on. So let's see, so we go course 328. It's right there. I'm actually going to capture that and go right from the VOR into the runway. So we're on the south side of Riyadh here. I'm getting some ortho overlay, overlay data here, so you can see there's buildings and things are going to start popping up. And there's some interesting terrain to the west, at least, with some elevation. I'll have to go do some GA flying out that way. And yeah, you can actually see the airport dead ahead. Right there. Jump back in here. Alright, I'm going to go full manual here, so let's get the autopilot off. Let's go ahead and kill the music for the approach here. We'll get our sounds turned up. Alright, start our descent for the runway here. This is apparently downtown Riyadh. Again, generic scenery. And we'll power back, start our descent. And we'll go ahead and set an altitude of 2,400. That's about, I don't know, 300 feet or so. 350, just as an alert. We'll get our speed brakes out and start getting slowed down in this descent. Take one final look around here at Riyadh. There we go, lots of pop-up buildings in there. Not that much of a descent. Again, too busy looking at the scenery. He's got your new to X-Plane, lots of plugins to choose from. Yeah, I mean, if you look at just my plugins here, I definitely recommend X camera. Landing speed indicator's nice. AviTab is very nice. Better Pushback is awesome. Definitely get that. You're probably going to end up using some scripts that use FlyWithLua, so you're going to get that. This is really nice. This is the sort of the call out. You'll hear it as we come up to the runway here. This gives you like the call out saying approaching runway, whatever. And then you get the niceties like terrain radar for airplanes that can use it and stuff like that. But yeah, X camera, definite. That will definitely improve your experience in X-plane here. All right, let's get lined up with the runway here before we crash. So let's see, VOR, you can see we're heading right for the VOR, so it's got to be like, what, 4 miles right ahead of us.
Unable to find UID 15.
Yep. Fat fingering my keyboard here. I was going to try to look for the VOR. See if I can see it. Alright, coming in a little high, a little fast. Let's go ahead and drop the gear. I'll get slowed down over here. Then we're at 216. Go to our first notch of flaps. Let's go ahead and get all our landing lights on. Two more notches of flaps. And I was looking for that other airport. That'll be next time around. It's off to the left someplace. Alright, there we go. Let's get the speed brakes down. Let's go flaps 10, I believe. Really get ourselves slowed up here. Just hand flying it here. Alright, gear down to 3 green. Let's go flaps 30. And come over here, go to landing 30. Alright, make sure our speed bugs are in the right spot. And hopefully, I'm going to go work on my airport here at Riyadh because it looks really nice. The one that is out there, but it needs a bunch of libraries and stuff that I didn't have, and it just wasn't loading right. All right, we'll bring our power up, gear down again, flap set for 30. Looks like we are right on the glide path right here. 500. Landing lights are on. Turn up the volume there a little bit. Alright, let's see if I can make a buttery landing here. This plane likes to drop out of the sky when it gets into ground effect.
30, 20, 10.
Yeah. Alright, thrust reverser is engaged. And that windsock in the middle of the runway kind of threw me off a little bit there. Alright, there's 80 knots, thrust reverser's off. Let's go ahead and clean up. I think the spoilers are up. Nope. So flaps up. Go ahead and do some manual braking here. And unfortunately, like I said, welcome to Riyadh Airport. There ain't a whole lot to see right here. But everybody in the plane sounds like they're excited. We'll take a turn off here and do a replay of the landing at least. There's nowhere really to park here. So I'm just going to turn off here to the left. This looks like a taxiway, or it looks like it should be a taxiway. Alright, I'm going to park it right here, since there's no place else to park. In this generic lame scenery that I don't think my generic scenery is even working correctly, so it may actually look better in real life, or if you actually just go into X-Plane and go to Riyadh, it might look better than this. So what I'll show you is, let me just jump out of the plane here really quick. So yeah, you can see there's some stuff on the ortho here. There's generic ramps and stuff like that. I think the terminals are off over that way. There's two runways. There's this one that we came in on, and there's another one off to that side right there. Riyadh is back behind us. So let's jump into the replay here. We'll do a few of them here. Let's see. Yeah, sure, right there. We'll do a wing view from here. That way we can actually see some of the city coming in. Alright, hit play. Hopefully that ain't too loud. So, guys, if you enjoyed that, hit the like button, smash that thing down. And if you're new, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I do a lot of X-Plane videos, and I'll probably have a whole bunch of them coming up since I'm coming off on my Christmas break here. Turn that down just a tad. Here we go, we'll speed this up a bit. I don't know how far out I was. There we go. Spoilers up. I think there is a fair way out here. Riyadh. Let's see how close we are here. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Bring it in a little bit closer here. Alright, here we go. On final. Hey Scott, no problem. Always like helping somebody that's new to X-Plane. I know when I jumped into it, it was a little bit of a learning curve there, and getting all the different plugins and stuff like that. Lots of good help on YouTube from the community online here, you know, help you with all that good stuff.
1,000.
Okay, a little bit closer. I'm gonna run out of music before we land.
500.
Here we go. Looks like we're coming in over the threshold here.
400.
Do this one, and then I think I'm going to do a runway end view. We'll see if that works.
200.
I forgot to arm my spoilers for the landing. I'm guessing those houses aren't really there.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
There's that rogue windsock. Alright, let's back it up and try a runway end view here. Let's see if we can get it. Oop, thought I had it there. There we go. Back it up here. not to hit the palm tree up ahead. I think what was the landing rate? It was like 170 something. Not too bad, especially for this plane. I noticed that this FlyJSim 737, man, when it gets into ground effect, it really wants to drop. So I always have a little bit of a hard time handling it. It's definitely a plane that's a little bit difficult to butter the landings. Not too bad, not too bad. Let's do one more. Let's see what else we got for views here. That's a flyby. That's, let's see. Let me do a tower view. In our imaginary tower here. Alright, one more. Back it up, let's see what we got here. Or was it? We'll do it from this side. Turn that down a little bit. This is 11.26. I don't have the 3.0 betas. I haven't been doing that just because I haven't had the time. Not bad. Love watching those thrust reverser caps coming off like that. Well guys, thanks again, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed that. Again, hit the like button if you enjoyed it, and until next time, take care.